The night that changed everything. I was wearing red, not because I felt beautiful, because red was his favorite color on me. I had booked the restaurant 3 weeks early, corner table, candles, the wine he loved. I had even written something in the card, 11 words, "Every year with you feels like coming home." He read it. He looked up at me, and he cried, real tears, the kind that make you reach across the table, the kind that make you think, "We are going to be okay." What I didn't know, what I couldn't have known, was that she was sitting in our car outside waiting for him. He had driven her there, to our anniversary dinner, and parked her 40 feet from the restaurant door. I found out 7 weeks later, not from him, from a parking ticket. My name is Claire, and I want to tell you who I was before that night, so you understand what was taken from me. I was a secondary school teacher, English literature. I used to read my students poems about love, and mean every word. James and I met when I was 26. He was quiet, steady, the kind of man who remembers how you take your tea. We married at 29, small wedding, garden. My mother cried through the whole ceremony. For 11 years, I built our life like it was the only thing that mattered, because to me, it was. I cooked Sunday dinners from scratch. I ironed his shirts the night before work. I saved for 4 years for the holiday he always talked about. I was not naive. I was not weak. I was simply someone who loved completely, and I had chosen someone who loved conditionally. I just didn't know it yet. Her name was Sophie. They worked together, same department, same floor. I had met her twice for office Christmas party, James's birthday drinks. She had shaken my hand both times, smiled at me, asked what I taught. I had thought, she seems nice. That thought still sits in my chest sometimes, like a splinter. The parking ticket arrived on a Thursday morning. I almost threw it away. It was in James's name. I opened it out of habit, the way you open everything in a shared home. The timestamp said 7:43 p.m., the location, the street behind Marcello's, our restaurant, our anniversary. There was a fine for exceeding the 2-hour limit. We had been inside for 3 hours, which meant she had waited. Not for 20 minutes, not for an hour. She had sat in our car, the car with my gym bag in the boot, for over 3 hours waiting for him to finish having dinner with his wife. I sat at the kitchen table for a long time. I didn't scream. I didn't call him. I made tea, put the parking ticket in the drawer, and I went to school the next morning and taught my Year 9 class about dramatic irony. The audience knows something the character does not. I wrote it on the board, and I understood, for the very first time, what it truly meant. What they don't tell you about betrayal is how quiet it makes you. Not quiet like sadness, quiet like calculation. I did not confront James that night, or the next night, or the night after that. I went to work. I came home. I made dinner. I asked about his day, and while he talked, I watched. I noticed things I had stopped noticing. The way he tilted his phone screen away. The Tuesday evenings he was always just a little late. The new cologne he started wearing in October. I said nothing. What they didn't know was, I had started keeping a notebook, not dramatic, not angry, just dates, time, steets, a teacher's habit, evidence before conclusion. I also called my sister not to cry, to ask her a question. Do you know a good solicitor? She went very still on the phone. And then she said, how long have you known? 7 weeks, I said. She didn't ask me anything else. She just said, I'll send you a name tonight. I want you to understand something. During those 7 weeks, I still ironed his shirts. Not because I was weak, because I had not finished yet. What he didn't know was that everything had already changed. He just couldn't see it. Yet the mirror moment came from somewhere I never expected. Sophie's husband, his name was David. He called me on a Wednesday afternoon. My phone rang during my free period. Unreal number. He said, I think our spouses are having an affair. He had found messages, month of them. He was not angry on the phone. He sounded exactly like me. Quiet, precise, already past the worst of it. We met for coffee the following Saturday. He brought printed screenshots. I brought my notebook. We sat there for 2 hours, 2 people piecing together a timeline of a life they thought they knew. He told me something that stopped my breath. She told him you were difficult, he said, that you were cold, that you didn't love him anymore. I looked down at my hands. I thought about the card I had written, 11 words. Every year with you feels like coming home. And I understood. He had read those words, with her waiting in the car outside. And still, he had let me write them. That was the moment I stopped grieving the marriage, because what I was grieving had never been real. 3 weeks later, I filed. James came home to find the solicitor's letter on the kitchen table. Beside it, a cup of tea, still warm. He called me 4 times. I didn't answer. He texted, "Can we talk? Please." I made a mistake. I read it once, put my phone face down, and finished marking my Year 9 essays. They were writing about betrayal in literature. I gave them all very detailed feedback that evening. It has been 14 months since that anniversary dinner. I still teach Year 9 English. Last week, a student asked me what my favorite poem was. I thought about it for a moment, and I said, "The ones that tell the truth quietly." I still live in our house. He moved out in January. The garden is mine now. I planted roses in March, not for anyone, just because I wanted to. Sophie and David divorced the same month we did. James and Sophie are together now, in a flat 20 minutes away. I know this, not because I asked, but because small towns remember everything. I heard she wears my perfume still. I changed mine to something he never knew, something that is entirely and only mine. I don't hate him. Hate requires energy I have better uses for. What I feel, when I feel anything at all, is something closer to clarity, the kind that only comes when you finally stop trying to save something that was already gone. The card I wrote that night, "Every year with you feels like coming home." I found it recently, at the back of a drawer. I read it once, and then I put it in the recycling, not with anger, with the same quiet I have carried every single day since. There is one thing I haven't told you yet. The solicitor my sister recommended. She had a story of her own, one that made mine look almost simple. Maybe I'll tell you that one next time. Some women scream when they're hurt. I don't. I get very, very quiet, and then I get to work.